Good morning and welcome to Kramer's Corner with daily technical update. It is Thursday, the 17th of April. It's actually a bank holiday in Denmark, so I'll do this very quick and sweet. And then I'll talk to you again next week after this educational video, where there's no recommendation or advice intended whatsoever. So let's start with Nvidia that got beaten a bit today, about 9% lower, as we can see here, closed around 104.5. Trading in a trend-like pattern, a really wide range, but it is in a downtrend. There's no divergence, indicating we could see lower levels on Nvidia, and if it starts moving below 95 and so on, then we could see lower levels. Taking out the lows here from a few weeks ago at 86.60, well, then we are certainly looking at 75, 76 support area down here. That spike down there could be a support. Negative sentiment also on the weekly, no divergence, indicating that we could see lower levels. On the overall index, the S&P 500 also lower yesterday. It is pre-market here, 1% up, so there is a little bit of a counter trend, counter move, but we are in a bearish trend, negative sentiment, no divergence, indicating we are likely to see lower levels. S&P 500 needs to close above 5,522 to cancel that bearish picture. We need to go back and have a look, see. The 55 is now crossing below the 200 moving average, so now we have a confirmed death cross, and that's not really positive for the S&P 500. Actually broke below a couple of days ago on the US 500 CFD. It has to be said, however, that since they are very slow moving and they are lacking indicators, the most of the move has probably been done or taken place or occurred when this is happening, of course, otherwise it couldn't push lower, but it does indicate we could see lower levels, and we are not going to see a bullish move, strong bullish trend anytime soon. Nasdaq 100, same picture really here, 555 breaking below the 200 moving average, negative sentiment on the RSI, no divergence, indicating we could see lower levels. At least a push down to the 17,000 once again. A close above 19,234 could spur a little bit of a rally here. Pre-market we also about 1%, so a little bit of a buying the dip here for some at least. The Dow Jones index needs to close above 41,413 to close that gap and to excuse me, to at least go into a neutral mode. The pre-market also bouncing a little bit, so let's see. European markets closed unchanged yesterday on the EuroStoxx 50. Here pre-market we're actually up 1%, so a good day it seems to be in Europe. Could push higher. And here we have the Euro 50 CFD, so it could see a push up maybe to around the 5,000, above the 5,000 once again. Let's see about that. But if it takes out, and I will actually add the horizontal line there, if it takes out 4,874, well, then we could see another sell-off down to around 4,700. But look at DAX. DAX actually closed unchanged yesterday, but, and this is the kicker here, 21,302 to be exact, that is the key resistance, but pre-market it is actually indicating to open above that level. We can see it here on the Germany CFD. Here the resistance is 21,525, but we are indicated to close above that 21,300 and 21,302 actually. So that's going to be interesting. We are indicated to open at 21,311, so let's see about that. Moving on to FX and euro dollar. pushed higher yesterday, but it needs to get back above 114.85, 140.80, a really strong resistance here for a push higher towards 117. It's stalling a little bit this morning, and if it takes out the lows there at 112.60, I think we'll see a larger correction down around 111, 110, a little bit more than that. But let's see. For now, it's just trading sideways here, so it's in a wait and see mode. Sterling dollar, a cable as it's called, stalling a little bit in a bullish trend, but you can see here RSI divergence, and if we add a trend line to it, we can see what's going on. It's actually declining, so maybe a little bit stressed here short term, but there should be potential up to 134 and a bit, maybe higher. We are in a bullish trend also medium term, so maybe it just needs a little bit of a setback before a next move higher. Euro sterling, that bounced off just above support here at 85.20, and it was actually also 50% of this uptrend here, and has bounced strongly, and is currently trading just below 86.20, which is resistance, and around the 38.2 retracement, just above 86. I think the bounce will continue, but if it takes out 85.19 here, then expect a sell-off down to 84. 84.60 level. Yen pairs, starting with dollar yen, that dipped below the support at 142.20, now trading back above. We are still in a bearish trend, negative sentiment, no divergence, indicating lower levels, and as we talked about many times before, I think we'll see it down to 140.25, maybe down to 137, where we have even stronger support, also with a 200 moving average coming up, but we could see a little bit of a counter trend there. The euro yen still indecisive mode, so there's not really much to talk about. So if we zoom out a little bit, there we are. This range here up to 164.20 that is needed to break out, and that spike down there to 158.25. So let's just move on to Aussie yen dancing around the just below the 91 level here, 90 or just around 91. Can't really make up its mind. Should it be this way or should it be that way? I actually expect it to come up to at least the 61.8 retracement at 91.77, maybe all the way up to the 786 retracement. Trend is down, and there is no divergence on the negative sentiment here on the RSI, but the 86 is a very strong support level. Sterling yen, resistance here at 189.85, but if we adjust this up to there, there's actually 50% of the downtrend there, so it can't really make up its mind either. It should go lower because we are in a bearish trend, but if it takes out 190, then I think we'll see a push up to around 191.5, maybe 192. But then we have all the moving averages, as you can see, 21, 55, 100, and 200 moving averages coming down. So that will eventually push it down lower, and negative sentiment on the RSI indicating lower levels on sterling yen. Aussie dollar, very strong bounce we have seen lately, as we talked about, but rejected here at the previous peak just around just below 64, and let's just add a horizontal line actually to see where it actually comes from. See, just below 64, 63.90 being rejected. If it breaks above, then I think we'll see a push up to 65.5, maybe a little bit higher, but the 200 moving average coming here and kind of put a lid on. You can also see that the RSI actually being rejected at 60 threshold, and that is key. It needs to close above for further upside potential. So now we could actually see a setback at least down to 62.85 maybe, and then I think we could see maybe it's trying to push once again. If it moves back below 62.5, below the cloud, then a bearish trend to resume. Dollar Canada, trying to find some solid ground here just above 138.25. Should be able to correct up to 140.5, which is the 38.2 retracement, possibly up to the 61.8 before next push lower. But if it takes out the 138.2 here, 138.20, and then we are looking at 137.5 level. Sterling Canada bounced to the 61.8 retracement at 184.75 and then got rejected, testing the cloud. Still negative sentiment on the RSI. Could it be rejected and then resuming downtrend? That is possibly. However, we have the 55 moving average coming up. We have the 100 kind of supporting it. So I actually think it will eventually push higher. And if it takes out the peak from yesterday at 185 and change, and the RSI close above 60 threshold, then we are likely to see a push higher on Sterling Canada. Swiss pairs and Euro Swiss still in bouncing mode. Slowly, it's not convincing. And I still believe we'll see it bounce up to 38.2 at 93.77, possibly up to this region where it takes out about half of it. But then we have the 55, the 21, the 200, and the 100 all coming down there, kind of giving a pressure to the downside. So if it takes out 92.20, the lows here, well, then we are in for another heavy sell-off, and that will possibly take it the key support area here, really strong key support area here, out for lower levels. Dollar Swiss also trying to find some solid ground here. Could bounce up to 84, but if it takes out this low here, just this pip below 81, well, then we are in for another heavy sell-off, and then we are back to the 2015 lows. But let's see about that. That was a bit of extreme, but we are getting closer and closer to it. The dollar index didn't take out the lows from yesterday, or from a few weeks ago, a couple of days ago. Yeah, last week was it. If it does, well, then we are looking at levels around 97 and 45. But if it takes out and move above the 100 level, then I think we could have a move up to at least 101. Gold pushed higher yesterday, massive move, almost 3%, I think. Spiking a little bit higher. We are up here above 3,300 and 3,350, 3,358 almost. Still potential higher. I think there is some divergence on the RSI. Let's have a look here. It's very marginal, I would say. Yeah, there is for now, depending on where we end today. So we have a bit divergence on the RSI, indicating the uptrend is quite stressed, but there could still be a push up to 3,378, maybe spiking to 3,400, but we could soon get a correction. So brace yourself. If you are long, I would be very cautious, at least now. The silver above the cloud, above 61.8, spiked almost up to the 786 retracement. RSI didn't get up to the 60 threshold, meaning that it is struggling a little bit. It really needs to close above 60 threshold for confirming a further bullish upside. Copper, excuse me, copper. I think I will zoom out a little bit and okay, so here we have, first of all, we retraced 50% of this downtrend here, and it seems like we could have a little bit of correction, possibly down to the 450, 447. Still negative sentiment on the RSI. And if it moves back below the cloud and back below the 55 moving average, maybe we'll have another push lower. But let's see if it can take out the peak from today at 447, 474, sorry, 474.75. Then some strong resistance in the region around 486, 483 here. That could be a little bit of a struggling for copper to move higher. And again, we still need the RSI to close above 60 threshold for supporting a bullish trend. Crude oil, and in this case here it's WTI crude oil bouncing higher, continuing to bounce higher. I actually think we'll see it up to around 65 and a quarter, 65 75 to 61.8 retracement. I think we will see in this region here before it turns around and resumes downtrend. But if it takes out the lows from yesterday at 60.46, then the downtrend will most likely resume already. The Brent crude oil currently trading above minor resistance at 66.07, has potential to push up to sorry, just below $69 per barrel at the 61.8 retracement, and then I think we'll see it being rejected. And also here, if it takes out the lows from yesterday at 63.79, then the downtrend is likely to resume. The European nat gas still in bouncing mode, slightly or slowly, I would say. Resistance at 36.75 could be rejected there before the next push lower. The US nat gas, the Henry Hub, I still believe we'll see it sliding towards $3. We'll take it out. That's debatable. Let's see about that. US 10-year Treasury yields. It's still in a positive sentiment because the RSI actually closed above 60 threshold, but we are in a correction phase. We are below the cloud. We are below 55 and the 100 moving average, but above the 200. So we could be boxed in here for a while. And I will actually add a support line there, minor support of 424. If it takes out that, well, then I think we'll see it push down to 61.8 retracement of 411. But if we start moving back above the cloud, and first the sign of that would be above the 440, kind of pivot point here, 440, and above the cloud, then I think we'll see higher levels in the coming days and weeks. But for now, it seems like it's just taking a breather. The 2-year not really doing much, just dancing sideways. So let's move on to the European yields, and let's start with the EU 10-year. Still key support here at 247, and needs to hold. If it doesn't, then we're looking at 237, possibly down to 235. For us as with a mortgage, so we wouldn't mind seeing this downtrend to continue lower. The UK 10-year bouncing a little bit, maybe, let's see, but dancing around this 460 level here after being rejected. I think we could actually slide lower to 440, 454, the 61.8 retracement here in the coming days. Bitcoin is still below the 55 moving average, really struggling there. Could be knocked down, back down in this area here. There should be potential up to 88,800, strong resistance. But for now, we are still dancing sideways. So let's see. The Ethereum seems to be dancing sideways out of the falling trend line, the falling channel there. So that's a little bit peculiar. So maybe that will be obsolete, but it needs to get back, or Ethereum needs to get back above 1755 as a resistance. If it does, well, then there could be potential up to around 2100, and support down here at 1370. All right, that's all for today and for this week. Tomorrow bank holiday in most areas of the world, so have a nice Easter and talk to you again next week.